Enchanté.
She's had a makeover. Softer, faster, full of French inspiration and little luxuries for your everyday chateau. A big day. I'm going to share a massive makeover with you. But first, I know many of you
love prunes the way I do.
I am so pleased to introduce to you their new
Grüny Smith apple flavor.
These are a super limited edition, ready to help you fall into fall in the best way, like taking a stroll through an orchard in a cable knit sweater, but zero pumpkin spice. I promise. A convenient, comprehensive, multifaceted formula. So they're not just a multivitamin, they're not just a
Prebiotic.
They're not just a green gummy. They're all those things packaged into one. They are methylated, which means my body and your body can absorb the nutrients. Now, those nutrients include 20 vitamins and minerals and
60 nutrient-dense ingredients,
packed with things like organic kale, organic parsley, organic spinach, and more. In a few weeks, I'm going to be sharing my packing for Paris video. These are definitely coming with me, and you get a whole package of them because there's no way they can pack that much nutrition into one little gummy. Now visit the link in this video description for up to 52% off and shop now because the Granny Smith apple is going to sell out fast. Bonjour, I'm Angela, Parisian Farmgirl, and for 20 years you have followed me online for French-inspired living that you can actually live with. If you don't know the story of how Parisian Farmgirl began, it began when Facebook was just taking off, and I had cousins that were bugging me to be on Facebook, and I felt like it was a platform where everyone was sharing what they ate for dinner, and I thought, golly, I don't want to do that. I don't want to post pictures of my food and get in arguments with people, and blogging had just sort of begun. I launched Parisian Farmgirl on blogspot.com because I had just had a baby, my first, in fact. And like every new mother, I felt like I was the first person in the world to have a baby, and I wanted to share that joy with everyone. And so I started a blog and I called it Parisian Farmgirl. I felt like those two words really represented who I was. Now, I didn't spell it with that I-E-N-N-E to begin with. I made the blog, and then that night I went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night with a sort of eureka vibe and thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be beautiful if I spelled Parisienne, the feminine way. Now, of course, that made it difficult to find me online, but I love the way it looks and it stuck. I began sharing stories about what I felt being a new mother, and then a few months into it, I happened to learn a few things, and I learned how to load photos. And one day I loaded a photo and made it my header, and it was my coffee table. And there were two French Louis chairs and my coffee table. And I thought it was pretty, and it was how I had designed the table at that time. And the response was incredible. From there, I went on to meet many people in the French-inspired living world, and that was sort of the beginning of me sharing some of my design ideas. Now, as a young mom and on a budget, here's how I'm designing my home, and here's what I'm doing to get that French vibe in my home. I had a series called Design on a Centime, and it was sort of a take on that old show, Design on a Dime. And one thing followed another and followed another. That was so many years ago. So many of you have been following since day one. And to that, I say a very heartfelt merci. You've seen the many looks of Parisienne Farmgirl over the years. Well, I've been working with a team for many months now to bring you a website that's better for me and, more importantly, better for you. And she's absolutely beautiful. You told me that the old site was slow and it was hard to search through. And I can only imagine, after 20 years writing online, I think I had more than 1,500 blog posts. You said it was tricky on mobile. You deserve something as beautiful and graceful as the life you are trying to build as a source of inspiration. I love that you come to me for a source of inspiration. So we rebuilt Parisian Farmgirl from the ground up. Everything is where you expect it. Recipes, travel, home, and garden. From the new Parisian Farmgirl, you will have access to all the old blog posts. You'll have access to the newer writings on Substack, many of which are now on ParisianFarmgirl.com. The store, Everyday Chateau, is right there. So for years, you've been watching our Everyday Chateau here on YouTube as we take this 1980s eco house and slowly but surely turn it into the French farmhouse of our dreams. Well, during that time, I began taking twice-a-year trips to Paris with many of you, to my great pleasure. And I've been bringing home antiques and stocking my shop Everyday Chateau. Well, now that's no longer a separate area. You will be able to find all those beautiful treasures right at ParisianFarmgirl.com. Yes, from this new place, you will have access to YouTube videos. You'll have access to the Old World Design Society, the Everyday Chateau shop. This is where I will be updating the recent Paris trips. Of course, you can see those for April of next year. They're right there. We have the Copper Cooking and Cuvée trip. We have the Flea Market Focus trip. All the testimonials and all the heartfelt words that you have shared with me about coming on these trips. Now I get to share those with everyone else. I'm so proud. She's so much easier to navigate. She's absolutely beautiful. And I'll give you a little inside story as to the inspiration. I love old perfume bottles. Every time I go to Paris, I look for old perfume bottles at the flea markets. I take my guests to Guerlain on the Champs-Élysées. Perhaps you've read on Substack about our fun adventures finding the perfect red shade of lipstick. I'm very much inspired by old perfume bottles. And so I wanted the new logo and the new look to have that vibe. So we ruthlessly poured through fonts. We studied old perfume labels, and I'm so pleased with the final result. Of course, the colors are still classic. They are still classic Angela, Parisienne Farmgirl, navy blue being the main, cream to soften it, and red for a little oomph. Something I write about often on Substack. As a woman who just turned 50, I'm coming into this new chapter of life, and I'm writing often about being comfortable in one's own skin. Well, I felt that it was really important for me to be comfortable in my own skin, even online. And I think that this new website, this brand new, made over ParisianFarmgirl.com with the style of these old Art Nouveau perfume labels and the font and the colors, I think that we ticked all the boxes, and I'm so pleased to share it with you. So right now, I'd like to invite you to visit my brand new website today, ParisianFarmgirl.com. We've been building this online community together since 2005. She needed a new look. She's got one, and I can't wait to share it with you. When you visit today, I have a little gift for you, a beautiful present where I share ideas on how you can Frenchify your wardrobe this fall. If you're looking to add some classic touches to your wardrobe, I have just the ideas you need. Visit ParisianFarmgirl.com today. Merci for being here for all these years. I can't wait to show you. Go check it out. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you all again very soon. À bientôt.